G'day guys and gal. Falling to chaos is like autism. There's a spectrum. Some people are very susceptible to selling their souls to the dark gods and drinking that spicy Kool-Aid. For others, it's more or less impossible. Custodes, Sister of Silence, and Grey Knights do not fall. Space Marines, Guards, and even Inquisitors fall all the time. But what about Sisters of Battle? After all, they are wholly devoted to the Emperor and their god, and are extreme in their religious fanaticism. They can literally become loyalist demons after all in the form of living saints, and can use faith-based powers drawn from their belief in the Emperor. That sounds pretty hard to corrupt, right? Well, they also don't have any particularly special powers or natural defenses from chaos. So that begs the question, can Sisters of Battle fall? And if so, what examples are there of Chaos Sisters of Battle? Before we get started, there's a reason Joology is the longest running sponsorship on this channel. It's because they slap extremely hard, and it's a brand I've been a customer of for years. That's because it's skincare that works. It's also affordable, easy to use, and effective. No BS, just results. And the 38 awards they have won prove it. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Joology asks you to fill out a quick survey, and then they send a custom skincare regime to your door. As I am Australian, we get turbo cum blast by the sun on the daily due to our lack of ozone layer. So my custom regime has sunscreen in its morning cream. I've been using Joology for years and it shows. My oily skin is completely gone, my dark circles are reduced, and my skin has never looked better. Even my complexion is more balanced. These weren't overnight results, it took time, so the best time to start is now. It's never too late to sort your skin out, especially since it's such an easy way to boost your attractiveness. Joology also sports a range of nice smelling, natural body washes, shampoos, and deodorants that you can't go wrong with. So to get a massive 70% off your first skincare package, as well as an additional 50% off a product of your choice, god damn that's value, then use my link, QR code on screen, or code Majorkill70. Cheers to Joology for sponsoring this video. Today we'll dive into the corruptibility of Sisters of Battle, and if it has actually happened before. Let's get into it. For some context on the Sisters of Battle used to be a cult on a random world called the Daughters of the Emperor. They were tricked into serving Georges Vandai and became his personal army of bodyguards slash fuck buddies, getting renamed into the Brides of the Emperor. Eventually, the Custodian Guard intervened, spoke to the bride's leader, Alicia Dominica, and showed her that Georges Vandai was a turbo dick, so she killed him. The brides were then reformed into the Adeptus Sororitas and became the personal military of the ecclesiarchy, in order to bypass the rule that disallowed the ecclesiarchy from fielding men under arms, so they simply fielded women. This is also why there are no Misters of Battle. It's against the edict placed upon the ecclesiarchy's military power. Due to their faith in the Emperor, the Sisters are notoriously difficult to corrupt. Chaos forces will generally just kill them on sight, capture and torment them to death, or just leave them imprisoned. During the Siege of Rax, when the Loyalists liberated the fortress and found the imprisoned Sisters, they mercy killed them due to how fucked up they were from all the torture. But despite that, the Sisters didn't actually fall. This has been repeated all across the galaxy. Sisters clinging onto their faith and loyalty as they were brutalized beyond recognition. Usually, it's these Sisters who stay faithful despite the horrors they endured that end up returning as living saints. However, yes, Sisters of Battle can and have fallen to chaos. Most people point to Muriel Sabathiel as the only example. However, that's not the case. Many others have fallen. Muriel is just the only one the Imperium wasn't able to clean up and hide, so they pretend she is the only one that ever fell and use her as a kind of boogeyman story. In reality, it has happened multiple times. But with Muriel being the best and most fleshed out example, let's start with her. Muriel was a Sister Superior of the Order of Our Martyred Lady, which more or less means she was a hero amongst the Sisters and not the kind of girl to fall easily. Now, Muriel's lore is old as shit to a point where its level of canon is actually in question, but for the sake of good content, let's ignore that. Muriel was fighting the Emperor's children, Legion, when she was captured by a demon prince of Slaanesh. She was brutally tortured in all kinds of horrific ways that I don't really want to get into because it was probably icky. Now, Chaos also literally has like venoms and poisons and shit that when injected into someone, makes them significantly more corruptible. Examples include the Chaos Knives used on Horus and Gilliman, the Chaos Snakes that bit Eristrid Krell, the shit that Gregor Eisenhorn had to drink, or whatever the fuck Fabius Bile injects people with. So we can assume something similar happened here as well. Eventually, Muriel fell to Slaanesh and became a Chaos champion, much to the delight of Slaanesh and the Demon Prince. To mock her old order, Muriel committed a string of mass killings that deliberately looked like they were done by a Sister of Battle, hence a team of sisters came to try capture Muriel and hide the shame of her existence from the Imperium. Muriel lured them into an ambush and slaughtered them all, before then going off on various hunts across the galaxy, specifically targeting the Elder. Now this lore is nearly 20 years old and we haven't seen her since, but this was the first confirmed Sister of Battle fall in the setting, but definitely not the last. It was actually stated that Muriel has managed to recruit numerous numerous sisters to a Chaos warband, creating a mini subfaction of Slaneshi Sisters of Battle. Damn, someone should make some models out of that. There are many ways to fall to Chaos. Some are willing, some are significantly less consensual. During one of Caiaphas Cain's adventures, a Chaos sorcerer was tearing across various Imperial worlds, using a unique power to corrupt them. That power was that he could corrupt and control anyone just by speaking with them. Hence he managed to corrupt entire regiments of guardsmen as well as a number of Sisters of Battle. Now the spell could be broken if you had a blank nearby, which is how Caiaphas Cain managed to resist it. However, if the sorcerer had corrupted you and then you got uncorrupted by a blank, you would be so mentally fucked up from the experience that all you'd want to do is kill yourself. On top of the fact that if the blank walked away from you, the corruption would seep back in. So it was pretty permanent. He used the corrupted sisters as his bodyguards and as a show of authority. When Cain managed to do what he does best, which is finesse the shit out of impossible situations using Jurgen, a bit of luck, and actually a ton of skill that everyone except Cain seems to recognize, killing the Chaos Sorcerer in the process and breaking the spell, the sisters instantly ran to the edge of a cliff and jumped off, killing themselves. To them, it was completely intolerable that they had become pawns of chaos. The only way to redeem themselves was to instantly die. In the novel Requiem Infernal, which is a bit of a headfuck of a book and dives quite deep into the complexities of corruption, a number of sisters in the book are more or less corrupted in their own way, with one even playing host to a demon. See, the thing about blind faith is that it's easy to manipulate. You think you could be faithful to the Emperor, but if you're tricked into thinking the Liber Demonica is the Emperor's Bible, then you may accidentally be a powerful conduit for chaos without realizing it. Whoopsies. To clarify further, as I just reread what I wrote and it's vague as shit, most of the Order died as opposed to outright falling to chaos. One sister got possessed by a Slaneshi demon, another sister got corrupted and became this chaos bug monster thing. So technically only 2 in the Order actually fell. There was also a comic series called Demonifuge, featuring a wildly powerful sister of battle called Ephriel Stern, who has recently reappeared in the lore and is kicking ass and taking names. During her adventures, she encountered some corrupted sisters of battle. There was also a reference to at least one Khorne sister of battle in the Battle Sister Omnibus, but I haven't read that, so I don't know much about it beyond her name being Sister Olenade of the Order of the Valorous Heart. It does seem like GW wanted at least one sister to fall from each god though, so it does make sense. Khorne actually does a great job of corrupting sisters of battle, managing to corrupt a whole bunch of them during the Blood Tide, which is that lore that people scratch their heads at a bit because it involves the Grey Knights arriving, killing a handful of still loyal, uncorrupted sisters, bathing in their blood, and apparently using that as a talisman of purity, which, yeah, great fucking lore there, buddy. In more recent times, there was a Dark Age of Technology device that acted as an Astronomicon for the Imperium Nihilist side of the galaxy called the Coral Engine. Khorne wanted to destroy it because he's a bit destructive like that. Thus he threw Angron at it, and the big angry boy managed to hit it so hard that it exploded, sending out a shockwave of corruption and opening up a massive warp rift. It was a huge Khornite victory. That shockwave of corruption hit one of the main Indomitus fleets and drove every loyalist into a Khornite corrupted killing frenzy. The only ones being able to resist being the Sisters of Silence, Custodes, and Grey Knights, but not the Sisters of Battle, who joined in on the blood frenzy, which definitely counts as chaos corruption. The Adeptus Sororitas and the Ecclesiarchy as a whole go to great lengths to cover up any corrupted or fallen sisters, which unfortunately means their lore is hard to dive into. It seems that Khorne is corrupted the most, with Slanesh also making up a few via Muriel and her warband. Then Nurgle got one via that corrupted bug shit. Funnily enough, it seems like Tzeentch is the only one who hasn't managed to get his tentacles on one as far as we know, which is strange since Tzeentch is usually the craftiest of the Chaos Gods and would have the most elaborate scheme to make sisters fall to him. Or maybe he just thinks girls are icky and have cooties. Judging by the total lack of Chaos Sisters models, as well as no updates on Muriel's lore in years, it seems like GW isn't super keen on exploring Chaos Corrupted Sisters much, with their only real features being in old niche books or as subnotes on wider stories, so I don't expect to see much of them anytime soon. If you enjoyed the video and you want to support the channel, then pick up some of the new remastered major minis, like the Son of Iron or Honorable Guardians. Why not also pick up a limited precision painting handle? We've sold out of the Ultimate Edition, but we still have plenty of the Standard Edition available. Hit the subscribe button and hit the real subscribe button for more corrupted content. Join the Discord for more memes and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.